Okay, so it's apple season. Yay! Everybody loves apples. I did a bunch of apple jelly already, but I still got to do a whole bunch more. Not apple jelly, we'll do apple butter this time. And we're also going to dehydrate some, so I thought I'd just give y'all a sneak peek into my day. And also, it's been forever, so just so y'all can lay eyes on me, right? Cluck, cluck. Okay, so I did one take, and of course it wasn't the best take, so I'm going to do another one. If you don't have one of these things, get it. They are awesome. I keep a rag beside me. It has a suction cup. It doesn't actually stick to my counter though. I hear you, IP. It doesn't actually stick to my counter though, so I use a cookie sheet so that it'll stick to it. You do still have to hold it, but you know, still better than nothing. So I will give y'all a tutorial on how to work this thing. Pull it back first. A little lever here to pull it back so you don't have to like wind it back. These are Honey Crisp, yummy yummy. I used Gala last week's, but I'm gonna use Honey Crisp this week. Honey Crisp are one of my favorite, and Golden Delicious. All right. So this thing's super cool. You're gonna be super jealous. I think it was probably, I'm not sure how much it was. My husband bought it, but I mean, it's probably like $20, $25 worth every cent. Okay. Takes the core off. No, when it doesn't break, it's cool. Now you still might have some seeds in there. You just pull those out and get them out. Great compost. My older chickens will eat this. My younger chickens will not. They are super picky. Now sometimes like the top, I'll rip that off and give it to the younger chickens because they will eat that. They're just like super spoiled, honestly. So let's see, can you see? If you look over there, I've already got some started. I gotta fill up all these grates. These are to be dehydrated. When I get done with these, I'll start doing the apple butter, but they need to go in the dehydrator by 10, so I have an hour and 15 minutes to get these filled up. It won't take that long with this thing. Thank you, love you. Favorite kitchen appliance ever right now. So I'll come back to you when I get all these filled up. Okay, I got 10 trays full with 32 minutes to go. I'm gonna put these in the basement where my dehydrator is on 170. That's what we use. If you everywhere you go, you're gonna find a different temp. We do 170, and that should have them done before we go to bed. So that's why I had I had a deadline on this. I'm gonna say that I'm very upset I'm one of those people that I munch as I make. And I'm very upset with myself that I used Gala apples for my jelly last week and not these Honey Crisp because these are so good. I got one extra piece here. Yum, yum, yum. Alright, these are the best apples ever. But I'm making the apple butter with them today. They're going to be perfect for that. We'll go into that later. So 10 trays. One of the reasons why I wanted to get this process down is because my older sister freaking loves these apples, these dehydrated apples. She's addicted to them, so I have to help feed her habit so she doesn't go into debt and be homeless for her dehydrated apples addiction. So we're gonna absolutely have her some of these. She's gonna like these a lot more than the ones I gave her this past weekend. I gave her a pretty big bag this weekend. Now I went to see her grandson plays football. I went to see him play football, and I gave her a bag. And I thought that they might like last her a week, but like they didn't even last her the game. So she's definitely going to need more of these. All right, I'll see you back when I'm ready to do the apple jelly. I've got to prepare some jars and do that stuff first. Cluck, cluck, everybody. And we're back. Okay, so we're getting ready to start the apple butter. For this recipe, you're going to need about 3 pounds of apples, which is probably about, I think I read that it's like 8 medium-sized apples. I've got some large ones and medium-sized ones here, so I'm going to do 9 because I cannot stand to get in the middle of the process and realize I don't have enough. I actually did that with the jelly last week, and it's very frustrating. So we're going to do that. I'm going to peel these up just like I did the other ones. Now, for apple butter, you actually don't have to. You just have to core them, and then you would run them through a, oh, I forget what you call those things. It has the crank, and it, anyway, it just drops all the meat and stuff. I'm not going to be doing it that way. I'm going to peel and core, chop, and then I'll put it in a blender to just like puree it, because you're going to want like an apple saucy, nice, smooth texture for the apples. So, or for the butter. So we'll need, there's a big debate in the apple butter world, whether you use cider or whether you use apple cider or apple vinegar. I use apple vinegar. If you use a more tart apple, you might want to use apple cider. But for these the sweetness here, apple cider vinegar is good. It helps really break down the enzymes and whatnot and gets all the flavors out. You're also going to use, some people use a cup of brown sugar. I use half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of sugar. You're going to want, some people use apple pie spice. I'm going to be using just cinnamon and nutmeg. And of course the water to when you're boiling these. But we'll just show you the process as we go. So let's get these peeled. Let me scoot these back so I make sure the apple peeler is in frame. I'll get one more peeled and show y'all, and then, oh no, I had a mess up. Probably because it's so big. That's okay. Alright, so I'm going to get these peeled and chopped and in the pot, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got them peeled and cut. I got my vinegar here, which smells like vinegar. Ugh. Cup of water. Okay. So now I'm going to turn this on to a simmer, which, you know, depending on your stove. Y'all see a fruit fly going around here? This is where I'm getting all the apples done. I can't stand fruit flies. Ugh. Okay. So, I've got that. Now you're going to cover it and, you know, have a vent. I fortunately have these nice lids that have a vent. Get mine out. Let's see. But in the meantime, we're going to let this simmer for about 20 or 30 minutes to get those apples nice and tender before... Dutchie, stop doing that. Dutchie is my neurotic kitty. You done? No? Okay, we'll keep doing it. This is my house. I get interrupted by chickens. I get interrupted by kitties. I got interrupted by my husband earlier. So we're going to let this simmer for about, 20 to 30 minutes. And let all that stuff break down. And then, like I said, I'm going to use a blender, but you use a food processor. And or anything like that, but we'll come back in a minute. Okay, in the meantime, we're gonna give the duckies and chickies some apples, some of the end parts. Wah, wah. Come on, wah, wah, wah. Here they come. They're slow. Come on. The duckies like them better than the chickens. Sorry. There you go, duckling. I made sure I left plenty of apple meat on there for y'all. Yum, yum. Now, I actually do have enough apples left over. I might make an apple cobbler. We'll see how that goes, though. Look at Katie Bird. You like that, Katie Bird? Mmm, nom, nom, nom. Okay, so I've just checked it. I think it's good. You want them really tender. Sometimes I just do a little mashy mash to see. Yeah, see how tender they're smashing? So that's good. So now I'm going to move over to this area. Let's see if my blender will scoot over far enough. It will. Okay, let's see if I can move this over. Well, what I'll probably do is do this off camera. So I'm going to put in here puree. And then I'm probably going to put it into a different pot. This pot will scorch a little bit sometimes, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Alright, so I will come back when I get it all blended and put in the new pot. Okay. We're at the saucy. How does my sauce look? It looks pretty good, right? Alright, so. What is this? Oh, it's hot because that stuff's hot. I was freaking out. I was like, I didn't turn it on yet. And I'm not going to turn it on yet because I want to get my jars sterilized and everything and ready. I want to put this into my jars while my jars are still hot from being sterilized and while this is still hot. So this is sort of like a tricky process. If you do all of that while it's hot, you shouldn't have to water bathe, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I hate water bathing, but if I have to, I will. So, I got the sauce here. It's going to smell vinegary right now. This is a two-step process. You have to remember that. You're going to smell it and you're going to be like, this don't smell right. This doesn't smell like it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I am going to go ahead and add some of the stuff. I've got my lids over here on the right, so that might start boiling in a minute. And I'm waiting for my oven. I sterilized my actual jars in the oven. I'm waiting for that to get done. So let me get all of my stuff out and ready. I'm going to start adding spices to this, so when everything starts getting sterilized, I can start cooking this. Let's see, measuring cup. Okay, so we're going to do a half a cup of, I don't know if it really matters if you use light brown or dark brown. I see light brown suggested everywhere. I happen to have light brown, so that's what I'm going to be using. But I have used dark brown with other, like pumpkin butter. By the way, I may try to make pumpkin butter this year. I love it. It's my favorite. If you're interested in that, let me know. So I'm doing the patty down thing. Just, when you measure out brown sugar, you got to make sure you pat it down so you're getting the right amount. Yeah, okay. So, I've got my light brown sugar, putting it in. Ba-doo. See if I get my excess off. Now I'm going to get the regular sugar. Like I say, some people use all brown sugar, some people use all white sugar. I just do a nice half and half. Oh my goodness. I just put in a whole cup of, you know what? It looks like I'm only using brown sugar today. It'll work just fine. I'll sprinkle a little bit in there. I used the wrong cup. Oh well. That's what happens. Things happen. Okay. I'm not sure, like, I never measure my, this is vanilla. I never measure it because I just love vanilla. So if I put too much in, it's whatever. Alright. Got that. Let's see what else we need. Our spices. I do have apple pie spice, but I'm not going to use that. I just would prefer not to. Okay, I'm going to do the cinnamon first. Oh, brand new cinnamon. I haven't even opened it yet. I noticed I was low on cinnamon last time I cooked. Okay. Come on, cinnamon. It's going to do this thing where it doesn't come out and then it, like, yep, there it went. All dumped out. So 1 tablespoon. Now I'm going to use a little bit of nutmeg. Now, nutmeg, whew, be careful with the nutmeg. It is a strong spice. I am only using a half a teaspoon of this for that reason. Whew. Let's see, vanilla. I think that's it. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna get these everything started sterilizing, and we'll be back. When we're cooking, and I'll probably film some of this. We will be stirring constantly stirring. No, let me rephrase that. You're gonna stir often, not necessarily constantly, but often. And I'm going to go ahead and stir some up now. Some people put maple syrup in it, and I actually considered trying it this go around, but I figured for the video we'll just do kind of the old-fashioned stuff. It smells good already. Okay, so that's stirred in. We will let I will come back when I get everything sterilized. Okay, so I've got the, let me clean up a little bit. It's the difference between us women and men folk, right? We clean up as we go. Alright, so I'm going to turn this on. And you'll hear stuff over here. That's my lids boiling. I've got my jars in the oven. So we're just going to pretty much stand here. This will get darker. You see all that steam coming from those? Woo, here it comes. Alright. So, we're going to cook this for about 10 to 20 minutes. I usually go for about 15. And while this is cooking, just every couple minutes I'm going to stir, and this will thicken up. It's already starting to thicken up a little bit. Okay, it's go time. This is the tricky part. Now if this looks runny, it's because it will thicken as it cools. It's ready. We gotta do this quick. Oh no, I didn't have my lids ready. Oh, they're sterilized, but they're not ready to go. Ah, silly me. Oh, bad work, bad work, bad work. Okay, now they're ready to go. It's go time. I'm hoping that this is a good angle that y'all can get. I'm a pourer. I pour. I'm actually low on jars because I've been canning all summer. And I'm going to have some left over. I think I have too much. Alright, well, I have a little bit left over, so that will go into something else. Okay, now we got to get the lids on quick. Sometimes, like when my mother-in-law helps me, we double team it. It's awesome because like she'll do the lids while I pour. I don't have her right now. I'm gonna start inviting her over for lunch and then having her help me. Which she would absolutely not mind, but. So now I gotta clean up the jars because I made a mess also. And I gotta figure out what to do with that. Alright, now we gotta make sure these things are tight. And hope that these seal on their own. I think they will because everything was pretty hot. And I gotta do something with that. Whew! Put this out of the way. Alright, let's clean these jars up now. did taste some before I turned the camera on. It's tart, but you want apple butter to be tart. Now, when this gets done, these will actually be gifts, and I'll eat what's left in there. I actually like it when I have a little bit that doesn't. That doesn't fit in the jar, because that means it's mine. But yeah, these will be gifts. I'm just going to get a jar that's not sterilized, that I happen to just have washed because I just emptied out the honey, and that'll be with me and my immediate family munch on. There we go. Now, I'm not done making a mess in my kitchen. I still got an apple cobbler to do. And we're still going to let that cool off before we put it in the fridge. Okay, so I usually just set these here. Hopefully, while we're filming, you'll hear pop, pop, pop. And if not, I'll have to water bathe. If I have to water bathe, I'm going to be upset, but it is what it is. Okay, put this over here. I can tell you it's probably going to set pretty good because the stuff that was on my wooden spatula is already setting. Okay, so I'm now going to, let's see, I'm going to have to first check this and make sure that that angle was right. Hopefully it is. If not, then you just missed it. And then we'll come back and we'll do an apple cobbler. I think I said peach earlier. I meant apple if I said peach. Okay, for a cobbler you only need 5 apples. And I just rushed to turn this on because I hear these clinking. Clink, clink. That's how you know they're sealing, which is good. Shouldn't have to water bathe. Alright, so 5 apples. We're going to get these peeled first. We'll do one. And then you're just going to, you know, uh-oh, I forgot to suction it back on. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to do those 5, and I'm going to chop them up, and then I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, so we're back. I got it done. I'm actually using one less apple. I made this the other day, and I used 5 apples, and honestly, I just like a little bit more bread. It was like mostly apples. So, I got that. Let me grab a lemon. So I'm going to just, first and foremost, I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice across it. Okay, put that in my compost. I put the apples in a bowl with a lid, and you'll see why in a minute. Let's see, I need, sorry camera. I'm using the right cup. No, I'm not using. You know what? That's fine. I need a half a cup, but I accidentally grabbed my 2/3 of a cup. Last time I grabbed my 1 cup for the apple jelly. I should probably start wearing my glasses. Once again, make sure you pat it down so you get an accurate measurement. Come on. This stuff just does not want to come out good. There we go. Okay, so that goes on the apples. Let's see if it's in the frame. So right here, I've got a, you know, your average casserole dish. Let's get my measuring cups. That's about a stick of butter. That is freshly made butter, by the way. So, We're going to be putting that in the oven like as we preheat the oven. In fact, I'll wait to start that because my tripod's in the way. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of the cinnamon. I usually use organic cinnamon, but I've been using it so much that and I use organic nutmeg usually, but I've been using it so much I just bought some. Once again, nutmeg is a powerful spice. Make sure you don't get too much, but I'm using half a teaspoon. Okay, so now that we got all that, this is why I wanted a bowl with a lid. You're gonna want that. We're gonna do that constantly. Now I'm gonna put this thing in the oven, so I'm gonna have to move the tripod. So I will be right back, and I'll show you how to do the rest. Okay, so I went ahead and put all my dry ingredients in there because I'm just trying to be kind of efficient here. So I've got 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. You can use all-purpose. Just make sure you add a tablespoon, teaspoon, whichever it is, of baking powder. And then I also got 1 cup of white sugar in there. Also, I'm shaking this up just randomly as I go along to make sure it's all nice and coated with the spices and sugar that I have in there. You're going to use just a little bit over 1 cup of milk. And that milk is straight from the cow. Yum, yum. And, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Ah! I almost killed myself. Ah! I almost did it again. The most important ingredient, in my opinion, the vanilla. Once again, I don't measure because I just love it so much. It doesn't matter if it's too much. And that probably is a little too much. Oh, I did almost kill myself that time. Oh. Okay, so we're just going to stir this while we're waiting. I forgot that I had actually preheated my oven when I was sterilizing my jars, so it was still hot. So I'm basically just melting the butter in there at this point, because you want melted butter on the bottom. The important thing about making a cobbler, I mentioned this in one of my last, I think I did a peach cobbler last time. I can't remember what I did, but the important thing is to not mix the butter, and you'll see when I'm going to show y'all exactly how it's done. But right now I'm just making the mix. Once again, every time I think about it, shake, 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 shake your apples. Okay. Ah, it's a fruit fly. Hey, anybody have any tricks to like absolutely keeping fruit flies out of your house? Let me know. I get them because I have lots of produce in here, a lot. And well, it just comes with the territory. I don't have them bad, but like I see one every now and then. Alright, this is pretty good. It's nice and thick. Let me take a peek. Alright, it's getting close. I'm going to pause this until the butter's done, because first I'm going to have to once again move my tripod. Okay, I'm making so much food, I'm running out of countertop space, so I'm going to be working on my stove. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is a nice bed of melted butter, right? We're going to pour this in. And we're not going to mix. Do not mix it in with the butter. You want it to stay as separated as possible. Cannot stress that enough. That's one of the main things that people really mess up with. The other thing people mess up with is they do fruit on bottom. Okay. There we go. By the way, my cobblers are a hit. I don't brag about my stuff too often, but with this I will brag. Okay, so see it's nice and coated. Now you're gonna want to spread this out evenly. I'm gonna just use my hands for this part, but I'm gonna get a spoon. Now the fruit goes on top. The bread, for a good cobbler, the bread will bake up through and around the fruit. Now I notice with apples, the apples typically stay at the top, but I just knocked that over. That's okay. The apples will, unlike a blackberry or something like that, the apples do still kind of stay at the top, but the bread still cooks around it, so it's good. Once again, we're not mixing. We're just trying to evenly spread. Now this will be good if you, I tell you what, it's the best with homemade ice cream, any kind of ice cream, or Cool Whip. I like Cool Whip personally. Of course, organic, all natural Cool Whip, right? Right. I've actually been toying around now that I've got fresh milk, toying around with, it's actually, you know, I'm actually not going to use anymore. I'm going to save this. I'm glad I didn't use the whole 5 apples. These apples were a little bit bigger. All right. So, I'm going to take some out. There we go. All right, let's see. I'm going to put this in the oven and I will come back to say goodbye. I will do something with the leftover apples. Okay, so I've got it in the oven. We're gonna bake that for probably about 45 minutes, but I honestly start checking about 30 minutes because you just never know. A cobbler can be like, look like it's absolutely nowhere near done and be done within a short amount of time. So I'm always like, with cobblers, I'm always just like constantly looking. And I will get a final shot of that for y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed doing the apples with me today. Sorry it's been so long. It's just going through stuff. But I'm going to try to get back in the hang of things. I still got a whole bunch of apples. Let me know what to do with some. The only other thing I might do is dehydrate them. But I know like in Australia, y'all like wrap them up and put them in a fire and roast them and stuff. Yeah, if y'all want to tell me how to do that, I know I have some Aussie people here, let me know. And I may try to do some pumpkin butter with y'all, which is basically the same process. I might buy more jars if I want to do that though. So anyway, I will come back with the finished product and hope y'all enjoyed my apple season. Okay, and it's done. Look at all that yumminess. That'll be, well, it's meant to be for dessert, but I have a feeling somebody will be up here to get a slice shortly, as soon as they catch the whiff. So I think I'm done for the day. That was a lot. I know that I'm going to condense this down into like a 20-minute video, if it even makes 20 minutes, but it is, I started at about 8 o'clock and it's now 2 o'clock. And now, fortunately, I have leftover chicken and dumplings from yesterday, so that's what will be for supper. But I can't wait to get a hold of this. So we got that much apple butter. We've still got the apples in the dehydrator, and we got this cobbler to eat. Cluck cluck everybody, love y'all, miss y'all.